This is a tribute video to Beowulf, the best dog ever. Beowulf was born sometime March 2010. I adopted him on May 8th of 2010, and this is how his ears grew up. At first they were both down, and then one started perking up, and then he walked around for months with one ear up, one ear down, and then the other one perked up, and then finally in September, kind of how he looked full. I don't want to talk about how he died. I want to talk about how he lived, and he was a fearless little boy. He walked into any body of water he's seen, no matter how big, and he loved it. We didn't get an RV until 2022 when he was already 12 years old, but he took to camping like a champ, and he had a great 2 years full of adventure. Beo got to camp at 9 Ohio state parks, 9 Michigan state parks, 8 private campgrounds. The dogs, of course, also stayed in 9 different hotels and 3 different Airbnbs. It's so funny with Beowulf and my other dog Fifi's opposite personalities, but they both agreed on how much they absolutely loved golf carts. Throughout their many years of adventures, some of the more famous places the dogs got to visit were Niagara Falls, which we did in 2023. Also, in 2023, we took the dogs to the Upper Peninsula for the first time. Beo had a great time exploring Michigan's natural beauty. And of course, we cannot forget that Beowulf fearlessly took on the challenge of swimming, not just in Lake Erie, which is where the video is, but he swam in all 5 Great Lakes. This was literally Beowulf's very first steps ever into Lake Michigan, and you can just see how much he loved it. He always loved being in the water and being around or near water, tasting the water. We also found these gorgeous crystal clear waters of Lake Huron. This is just north of Port Huron. And again, these are some of Beowulf's very first steps ever into Lake Huron. We ended up finding quite a few Lake Huron beaches over the 3 years that we traveled with him, and he always enjoyed every single one. He had a lot of fun swimming and playing in the waters. We'll miss it. Lake Ontario's waters were chilly. No water was ever too cold for Beo though. Water could be partially frozen. If he could get into it, he would get into it. He was never afraid of ice or any body of water, no matter how big the waves may have been. And of course, this little Beo shark was also swimming in Lake Superior. So there you go. That's all 5 Great Lakes that Beowulf conquered. And when he seen sand, he rolled in sand. Even if he wasn't wet, he just loved rolling in sand. But of course, Beowulf's biggest love was food. If anyone had food, they did not take a bite without Beo knowing about it. He would stare at them, he would watch the food, he wouldn't take his eyes off of it. He just loved seeing food and eating food. And of course, we always shared with them. Just don't try to give him a nasty vegetable or a dumb, gross fruit. He did not like those. In 2023, when walking started becoming a little too tough for Beo and we realized he would not be able to walk long distances, well, we just got a stroller for him and we carried on our travels, and he loved it. He loved being in his stroller. I think he knew that it helped him go places that he wouldn't be able to go on his own. Beo absolutely loved being with his family, his humans, and his little sister. He always enjoyed being out and about, whether he was out walking or he was out strollering. He had fun with us no matter where we went. He always enjoyed every new adventure. He looked forward to it. He absolutely loved when it was time to get the harness on because he knew that meant he was going somewhere. A dog's life is never going to be long enough, but I like to think that Beowulf had a rich, full life. He got to meet lots of new creatures and make new friends. He went to lots of dog parks and doggy daycare, and even got to meet this cow. Of course, Fifi here was more excited, but that's how Beowulf was. He was very gentle with all creatures. He didn't really care. Beowulf was enjoying camping and swimming 2 weeks before he passed away. I think that's how he would have wanted it. I always imagined there would be like a long, slow illness. We would know he was done traveling and we would spend months at home with him, and that just didn't happen, but I think he went the way he wanted. Dear Beowulf, you'll always be in my heart. I will always love you. There will never be a replacement for the best dog